Sparring ring, it looks like, is our first match. And remember, people, that it is a best of 3.
All the bests.
Yes.
All the 3s.
Yes. The 3s up until finals, where we will hit into best of 5s. Both on the ground and above ground. And then the grand finals, naturally. So, as we see to our first match, we're gonna got Twin Tail on Cosalina. We got the Bite and Bark from Yoshi.
And we've got the Spirit of the Slaps coming in strong. Yoshi, the first one I think of when I think of double slaps.
Cosalina having none. I think Cosalina was having none of it last time around as well, so it was her mission to make sure it just didn't happen. But unfortunately, the tournament happened, and well, the rest is history.
Oh yeah. So far, these two are going very even right now. Like, Yoshi is just getting some really good calls with these slaps, putting a lot of pressure and damage on Kosa, and just doing a very remarkable job of just dodging around all these attacks. Bark is definitely coming in clutch here too. He has helped out in numerous exchanges.
Not helping out in that one though. Went for the rush. Cosalina got themselves a little bit of height. That's all they needed, and the grab seals the KO right off the bat. But that was good pressure from Yoshi. If they can keep that up and sort of maintain that, they might be able to see themselves through. They have actually switched out one of the slaps for a Trap Blast of their own, and Twin Tail has switched out their Bolt as well. So, changes on both sides. Thunderbird will hopefully get the shot, and does indeed get exactly that. Sends Bite into the corner, punches Bark down. No more height boost for Bite, and another successful shot into a grab. And suddenly Cosalina has just turned this match completely on its head.
And that is very dominant first set taken right there.
Yeah, that was just... Yoshi had a plan, and it was working, but the second they both switched arms, it just went into Cosalina's favor. They were able to figure out exactly where Bite was going to go for, just continuously shutting down Bark so that they could not get the benefit of that additional punch that our little doggo has, and also the jump boost that they can also get from that. And Kosa immediately Scrap and Mausoleum. And immediately check it in, despite the fact that Yoshi hasn't picked the stage yet. Ready for anything. And let's see if that rings true as we go to Via Dos. And what happened there? Oh, did Yoshi? Yoshi had to think about that there for a moment. Wasn't quite sure what happened, but there we go. They're both back in now. Gonna stick with the same characters. Gonna stick with the Twin Tail and the Bite and Bark. And it looks like they're gonna stick with the same kind of arm loadout as well. Cosalina coming in with the Toaster and the Thunderbird. Meanwhile, Yoshi is coming in with that Slapamander and has switched out the Trap Blast. This time going for a little shock of their own. Thankfully, Bark saving their life a little bit there. They went to the shock, but Bark was able to land a punch on Cosalina so that she could not get the grab in.
Bark is really interesting, a really unique addition to Bite and Bark. Actually has a lot of fairly consistent rules to him that a lot of people might not be aware of. A lot of people just look at Bark and they're like, oh, this is just a dog that randomly punches sometimes. But there's actually a few things that go into Bark and how they kind of play out. The first and base rule, of course, is the fact that Bark usually is trying to stay nearby Bite. You'll notice that he's like trying to position to an angle from Bite. So he's just always a little bit out of the way from the camera angle. We'll focus a little more forward when Bite is moving around. And then when Yoshi Bowser is shielding, Bark actually comes straight in front to act as a barrier to try to stop certain attacks.
A robotic meat shield.
Oh yeah, and it can actually open up some good combos and plays if you're able to bait your opponent out utilizing Bark effectively, especially if you have height advantage, so it's just that much more difficult for them to be able to work around Bark. a couple other things. The punches are actually following a pretty set rule. Bark tends to punch every 5 seconds or so if there isn't an attack that happens, maybe a little bit more than that. But beyond that, he has like a pretty quick retract, about 1 to 2 seconds, and then as long as Yoshi Bowser is throwing out attacks, you notice Bark's also just throwing out attacks alongside. Bark will also charge up arms if they have a moment to charge up, alongside Bite charging up.
And unfortunately, that was all we're going to see of Bite and Bark for the time being. But hopefully everyone's learned a lot from that. But unfortunately for Yoshi, that is the end of their above ground run immediately. Straight up 2-0 for Cosalina. They did switch to double snaps again there, Yoshi team, if they could make it work for a second time. But Twintail able to shut that down. Kept getting the little shocks with the Thunderbird and just continuously punishing Yoshi. Tried to go for that last ditch rush, but to no prevail in the end. And that's Cosalina straight through into the semi-finals. And they're going to go up against Penzo. If Penzo gets there. Ah.
We'll have to see if Penzo is actually here or if he's like pretend to be here. Like, he checked in during the last 30 minutes, so I'm very confident that he is here. So I'm very confused why he isn't here at the same time. Because he made some kind of action that indicated that he is around, but I have not heard a single thing from him.
Yeah, not quite how you want to go about things. As we prep for our second round 1 match, and that will be between Yam and Aloria. So as we await for those two to get in, hopefully everyone is doing okay. So we had Yoshi and Aloria ping up in chat.
Everybody yell at Penzo. Pin him, poke him, prod him, tell him that he is needed in the Scrapstar Series.
Alright. Let's take Viados off that because Viados is a counter pick.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, for those of you who forget, it is a 1-2-1 strike ban system, and the 2 counter picks, which are Scrap and Via, don't come into play until after the first point. And we're gonna go to DNA Lab. Speaking of which.
It's a pretty solid stage. It's going to be a lot larger, lot of space for these players to really move around and test things out. And I would have expected, these two are very similar to each other. Both of them have a ribbon or min main, and then they've also both got like a side Lollipop. Like, I've seen Yam pull out Lollipop, I've seen Aloria pull out Lollipop. They're very, very similar.
Oh, indeed. And both so similar in fact they trade in mid-air. It's the poison stack that starts getting applied first, although I'm weak on that left side, so they'll not want to get peppered by that dragon too much here, Aloria. And now just doing the traditional DNA Lab dance, and by that we mean literally dancing around the tubes. Which is why you see the good coverage arms like the Phoenix coming out, which just rocks hard onto Aloria, and that's a grab to KO.
Yeah, I'm definitely... While the two play very similar characters, Yam usually seems just a step or two ahead of Aloria in a lot of these exchanges, a lot of these accounts, and we are seeing that there with Yam starting off with a huge lead on that first game.
Indeed, and Aloria's going to try and come out with as much pressure as possible, but unfortunately gets caught in the first 10 seconds with that grab. Does have rush, but they need to get themselves into a position to not only catch Yam out, but to get as much damage out of that as possible. Meanwhile, Yam just going to just stall, just keep getting these hits with the Phoenix around the tube, just forcing Aloria to try and play this aggressive style. Does actually catch his 160 and applies the poison stack. So Yam will need to be a little bit more cautious now. Poison does wear off, has enough time to charge up that Phoenix. That is one of her key abilities, to keep that perma-charge until they get knocked down. Aloria goes into critical. Here comes the rush. That'll be a KO, and that's first point to Yam.
Just a very solid rush. Some nice pressure there.
Lola's bouncy nature is no match. No match for Min Min at all. So we're gonna see what the bans are gonna be. We're gonna see where we're gonna go to next. Obviously it'll be Aloria to pick where we end up going.
I also have good news. Very good news.
Oh.
Penzo is conscious again.
Hooray! He wasn't.
He has returned to us.
Oh,
and he will be ready.
Oh no.
He will be ready to participate. We're gonna have him do his match off stream just so he can kind of like warm up and everything.
That's okay.
Also, hi Alec. Just a quick shout out to Alec. He's actually a YouTuber that streams ARMS every once in a while, along with a bunch of other games that he's got going on in his list.
Oh, hello.
Pretty decent Ribbon Girl as well.
Oh, nice.
If you're ever looking for another streamer, entertainer, content creator that plays ARMS that maybe you want to do some friendlies with, definitely check him out. If he wants, Alec could post his YouTube into chat just for people to check it out and stay in touch with him.
Gosh, I need to play ARMS again at some point.
You know, technically you could enter these if you want. I don't have a problem with that.
I'm the caster though. And also, I would be out first round every time.
Exactly! You would be out first round, which means you gotta go back to commentating. Easy! Also, if you don't, then we gotta have hype matches like we did when I was competing in Temple Tantrum.
Oh my gosh, this is true. In either case, if we start in Scrapyard, so I like how both of the matches so far in round 1 have gone to counterpick stages. And Lola is going to be coming in with the Ram Ram and the Homie. Meanwhile, Yam is going to pretty much just, well, we've got a Lockjaw out really, so Lockjaw and Revolver, and it's already keeping Aloria down every single time, and another good grab as well. Aloria just doesn't seem to have an answer for this. Just keeps on getting caught out by either the Revolver or the Fireball coming from that Lockjaw. He has the shield up, is immediately punished with a grab, and again, it's straightforward enough here.
Yam just has that tempo, has that know-how going in strong right now, and is definitely that player to beat, especially for Aloria, who is on their last legs here. To stay in the winner bracket, they need to be able to turn things around here. But this is already coming off very clearly a very difficult matchup for Aloria. Again, Yam just like 1 or 2 steps ahead, always a little bit more planned out, a little more ready for whatever Aloria is throwing out. Safely blocking that rush and is going to be able to punish it.
Wow.
260 damage.
Yeah, just immediate quick thinking from Yam. He gets himself into position to fire that off and just keeps this pressure on Aloria and keeps him as far away from them as possible as well. They don't need to worry about where Aloria ends up being. They're just able to catch him out. I don't think they got the hit just yet though, and they have to be a little bit more patient here. Just a couple of arm shots just slightly missing, and it's actually Aloria who's hitting most of them now. And actually gets the grab too, so this is good pressure here from Aloria. They just need to not get caught out and keep Min Min from perma-charging that left arm. And they might be able to take this to a third point. Both activated rushes at the same time! It was a literal synchronized rush, and it was Aloria who got the better of it. We are going to go to a third point. One apiece.
That height advantage actually not working out there because the Lockjaw was just too high above that rush to be able to stop anything. Allowed that Ram Ram rush just to kind of slip in there and chew out Yam's health bar.
Yeah, that was really well played. You notice Yam going into that Phoenix Lockjaw now, so ditching the Revolver. And Aloria, well, very happy with that weapon loadout. Gonna see if they can make it work a second time. Let's get a little bit of a tap here and both staying on relatively equal health, but that's about to change. A nice high grab from Min Min. And another catch out with the Phoenix. You've got to be careful if you're using that bouncy nature of Lola Pop. She can't always protect you. And already down to half health here as Yam just keeps throwing out the Phoenix. And here comes a rush, but Lola Pop far enough away. And they should be about to get a rush of their own ready, so it's just really the case of can they find it? And they do indeed.
Solid deflect there.
A nice tasty 300 if they can keep this up. Who knows, we could see a match 3, despite having how the set pretty much has been for most of it. But as we always say, it's never over till it's over.
Yeah, I'm getting another hit with that lockjaw. That thing is causing so much trouble for Aloria.
And especially with Yam having rushed now, you just feel like it should be Yam's to win. Yep, there's the rush connect. But well played to Aloria. Certainly came back into it in that match. That was a lot closer than the first point. But it is still going to be 2-0 to Yam, and Yam will move on to the semi-final. But still though, I don't think Aloria can be too sad about that. Like I said, they really came back on fire in that second match. Yep, they still made a couple of mistakes, especially towards the end on that last point, but to force an equalizer on that was, yeah, that was impressive. Like, obviously, sometimes with the luck of the draw, they both activated rushes at the exact same time. But it was Min Min who was caught out, despite having, as you say, that height advantage. Lola Pop just... I wonder if that was down to the chuck by any chance. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I feel like it was a lot more of the Ram just because it does have that curve. So the bird chuck might have actually been big enough that the lockjaw could have still walled it out, where the Ram smaller and also being curved helps it just kind of slip out of the way.
That's true. That's very true. So yeah. And yeah, even Yam's like, yeah, that's getting somewhere, so... You know you're doing good when your opponent goes, yeah, actually that was really good, actually. So...
Oh yeah, Aloria was happy with that too. Everybody's happy with it. It was good. Happiness for everyone.
So it just being in the semi-finals, we're going to have Sherry versus Yam and Panzer versus Cosalina. Now, it's interesting to note that the top 3 from last... not the top 3 from last week. The top 2 from last week are both back in the semi-finals. Obviously on separate sides. Yam obviously seeing if they can retain the Scrapstar Series title. And if Penzo can take it from them. And Cosalina trying to get back into top 3, as they missed out last week.
I definitely can see Kosa making it up there. We do have, like, our semi-final competitors are all very, very vicious people. There's a lot of player adaptability going on here. There's a lot of, like, customization. There's a lot of unique things going on.
We've still got Yam and Aloria in the lobby, by the way. They both need to vamoose.
Oh no, we need Yam. We need Yam.
Oh yeah, Yam.
Just
No, Yam can say just Aloria. There we go. It happens. These things happen. So if I get this quickly updated, it is currently
Maz Sparring Busters. So we've got Temple Grounds and DNA Lab. I'm thinking Temple Grounds on this one. Yeah, because Shady definitely is looking for something a little more aggressive, recognizing that Yam really likes to just run home with those range stages. Well, this is still a little pretty solid for defense. It's not nearly as defensive as DNA Lab, so it's definitely a safe pick.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. Instead of 6 tubes, we get 4 fin pillars. And it's also a lot smaller. It's so much smaller.
It also has some of the more vicious corners in this game.
Oh yeah, like we've seen time and time again where if you get one person stuck in that corner, it's quite hard to get out of there.
it is a very scary place to be because a lot of the other corners you're just kind of cornered, or tempo grounds you're cornered. Your opponent has height advantage. If you have the pillars down or still up, then that means you have a couple more options to kind of slip out safely, especially if your opponent's too aggressive because they're either too close and you're probably going to be able to get a safe punish or escape option, or if they're just behind the pillars, that means you have the pillars to immediately choose to hide behind. But if those pillars break down, then it's like you literally have nothing. You're just cornered and you're probably going to die. And Shady's already got things set in motion. Look at these call-outs!
A hat trick of grabs from Shady, just not even giving Yam a moment. Finally gets a little bit of time to themselves as they freeze Twintel in place with the Ice Dragon. And does have Rush available, but they've got a fair bit of health to claw back. They are doing so, at the very least.
Oh, slowly but surely, the Roaster and Ice Dragon combination is one of the really more interesting loadouts, but a really solid one as well, because it means you have that solid close range and an even better long range option. So in most cases, you're kind of able to make good calls in place, except for that backflip, which...
Yeah, that backflip was was one of the worst things to do in that situation. Also, Shady with 4 grabs in that match alone.
Gods.
Make that 5.
We're going... No, Shady's gonna try to go for 5 in this one round here. We'll have to see.
My word. And here we go again, just as we were talking about, just Yam trying to get out of that corner, whilst not giving Shady any kind of advantage. Gets them out of midair with a nice little tap from the dragon. And another nice snipe. Yeah. I think that's pretty much all but one pillar left.
It looks like, I think that pillar's in good health. It hasn't been hit yet. That definitely means that any defensive play around it will guarantee safety. It's just when it's on that last health that anybody behind it wants to be careful, because it's like, you see that pillar's on its last health, and then you try to hide behind it for defense, and your opponent can just rush it down.
Oh yeah. Twintel going for the rush, and Yam going for the counter, but unfortunately, well, fortunately for both, and also unfortunately, neither took damage at all.
Just a safe exchange of not using rush, which is going to quickly put us back into this neutral exchange. Yam desperately trying to create some space to get that dragon arm ready. Shady, though, is not wanting that, and goes through the grab, but this time Yam on top of it, but not on top of the second grab.
Nope. And with 15 seconds to go, Yam has a slight health lead and is being forced into that corner, as you can see. But Shady needs a stun and a grab, which is exactly what they needed. And that should be able to do it unless Yam gets one of his own! Oh my god!
Is that enough? That's not enough.
It's a draw! It's a draw! Are you kidding me?
And away goes the chakram.
Well, this is literally anyone's games, and both going for the rushes again. Shady has to block the whole of that, and Yam gets as much chip damage as possible. There goes the last pillar, and Yam again with a slight health lead, but well, as we just saw 30 seconds ago, that could very quickly change.
I think Shady's still playing like that Scully is a chakram, and is actually, I think there's been a couple exchanges now where the Scully just kind of got straight up outbeat by the Roaster, but now Shady's able to knock that dragon arm off, and that means it's so much easier for that Scully to kind of sneak in, get those pokes, get a lot more damage, where before it was just getting hard boxed out.
Oh yeah, and now you can see the poison stack coming back in again. Thankfully the minute wore off immediately. But does have Rush, catches Shady out with another Phoenix, gets that Roaster upgraded. That is going to be a shield break. 100 sends Twintel into critical with 30 seconds to go, and Yam is trying their absolute best to equalize this. They don't want to let Shady get ahead. Another face full of the...
Oh, there's the rush!
That's a rush, that's a solid connect. Has Yam in the corner. Will Shady go for the grab? No, with 10 seconds to go, we can't possibly go into another draw, surely. All Yam needs is one more poke on the Twintel. But no,
Oh,
not
no,
again.
Shady has the lead.
Shady has lead, just about, and I think that's gonna do it. It is. My word. Oh, despite all of that, it's 2-0. But that will not tell you the whole story.
It's crazy how it's like you can get some of these matches that are just like 2-0, 3-0, and like even in like the match score, it's like 2-0 or I 3-0'd the guy, and you're like, wow, you crushed them. And then you're like, yeah, but in the back of your head, you're like, ha 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 ha.
You have no idea. Oh,
Just
my
anxious
word.
laughing in the background as you're like, I just barely got away with every single one, honestly. And then you stop, you're like, technically all those should have gone to them, but they made one small mistake, and I got to run away with it.
Yeah, you gotta feel for Yam in there because, oh my gosh, Shady hits Yam, gets a draw, and then it hits Shady with a few seconds to go, and it's just enough. It's millimeters enough, if that. Oh, it's... This is,
scary.
Yeah.
Stressful. This is intense.
Yeah, Yam's title is on the line, essentially. Yam's gotta find a way of pulling this back.
I kind of want to see that Min Min stay, but it looks like Yam is going to try out the Lollipop. A very popular pick amongst players. I'd actually say right now in the ARMS meta, Lollipop is the most popular character in this game. Like, in the NA scene, there's more than 4 Lollipops, with 4 of them being like very notable players, and then like at least another 3 or 4 just out in the outskirts doing their own thing.
Wow.
And then here we've got Yam, Aloria, both having Lollipop as pocket characters. Does Rifa have a Lollipop? I know there's a couple of Lollipops here too, but like, you see a lot of Lolas around these days where even Twintel doesn't seem to show up nearly as often.
Oh yeah. And already it's proven, I'd say proven better. They're again on equal footings here. This might be one of the closest sets we've had, and this is just the best of 3. Like, imagine if this was a best of 5.
We would be here all day.
Oh yeah, at a double poison stack as well onto that Lola alongside the grab, and Shady's making every single one of these grabs count. Yam may have the high ground advantage, but they certainly don't have the health with 30 seconds left to go, and another poison stack deployed.
Yeah, Shady's just making a little bit behind, or they're pretty much even in a lot of cases, but Shady is just making 1 or 2 more good calls here and there, and it's just slowly leading to more and more control. Yam can't bring this back.
Oh,
There's
no
not
way.
enough time.
Like, just hold on to your rush and save it for your second point. But again, we're starting to land some blows, but I think that's mostly because Shady was just looking for that KO.
I think Shady was just looking to build rush at that point, not really wanting to do anything too risky.
Yeah, that's very true as well. Yam's gonna ditch the poison tactic, just gonna go straight for the popper spot. And, well, Shady, well, just gonna stick to what's been working.
Roaster Scully is a fun combo. It just allows you to get some nice chains. It allows you to have 2 different kinds of glove type arms, where one is exceptionally fast, and then the other is just... Well, both of them are really fast, but they're like fast in different ways.
And Yam starting this second point off a lot stronger than the first one did. Managed to get a good connect into the rush and then successfully reflecting away Shady's. So, big health lead, and if they can keep this up, they should be able to swing this back and get the equalizer they were looking for in that first point. Because already arm weak on that side. That's an arm down as well, but can't connect a follow-up.
And that's the KO.
Now that's going to be 1 apiece, and well, Yam does still need to win this to take this to a 3rd match. But I'm gone.
Wait, Chakram coming in. That's going to be so much more difficult for the Popper to beat down.
And on top of that, that means both are going to try and get... Oh, well, never mind. As I thought about it, Shady was just like, yeah, I'll just go for grabs. They've been working so far.
There's no reason to not. Yam leans very heavily into that shield. There's a lot of cases where Yam's just gonna kind of default into it as a response. And it's really easy for Shady just to be like, oh hey, here comes a shield. Or here comes a moment where you're just kind of hesitating and stuttering. I'm just gonna hit you here, and you're gonna get caught.
Yeah. Oh, unfortunately not close enough to get the grab combo off that shot. So they'll have to try and do this again the hard way, and especially with Shady having been able to capitalize on that rush earlier, and the arm weak on the right side. But Yam is starting to come back into this. They've still got a whole lot of work to do, and here comes the rush, and it does connect. It isn't quite the KO, but, well, one more hit will certainly do it, and you see Shady just immediately went for that grab. Didn't quite connect, but that certainly does, and that is going to be a 2-0. Shady moves on to winners final.
And we'll be awaiting the victorious player from the match between Cosalina and Penzo, which just so happens to be our next match.
But it does mean that Yam, who won the series last week, finds themselves in the underground bracket. And Shady is going to look to just yoink this title from them. And they'll also probably, well, I'm going to try and stop Penza from going one step further as well, but Penza's got to beat Cosalina first.
Twitch is recommending friends to me, and those friends are people that I know that I specifically do not like. I'm like, how do I hit X and remove? I don't want them there. And it's just like, we're recommending these people. I'm like, no!
Go back.
Go away!
Go back. I said go back. Cosalina just waiting on them, and our next match set to get banned. But again, you see the results on the bracket. Shady beating Yam 2-0 again. Really doesn't fully tell that, because the first point, well, we had a draw in there. And then the second point was a 2-1, so it was exceptionally close.
A lot of those were a lot closer than, yeah, we would see just from that point system. Like, you miss out on so much. Even yesterday's event that I was competing in, like, if you didn't see the matches, like, you wouldn't realize how intense some of those are. Actually, one of my most intense matches against Dart ended up being a 2-0. I didn't have it recorded, though, so you look at it and you're like, oh, it's just a 2-0, Maliv just kind of thwomped him. No, I do, like, every single round, if he didn't take it, I took it with, like, a fraction of a health left.
Whoa.
And it's like, oh, wow, you 2-0'd him. That's expected. I'm like, no, I'm lucky to come out alive.
And when you hear someone like Maliv say that, you know.
Some of these players are amazing. Speaking of amazing, Alec, you should sign up and participate in the NA Scrapstar coming up in about 6.5 hours.
Oh, I would like to see that. I mean, I'll be asleep, but I'd like to see that.
I mean, there's always going to be the VODs. We have the VODs of every single Scrapstar to memory, I think. I might have missed one or two, but I'm pretty sure I consistently have all of them set right now on my Planet Scrapstar YouTube channel. They are set to a playlist that is, and pretty much all of them are set to unlisted, just because there's a lot of them and they just kind of would swarm the channel. So for those interested in looking at each one, they are there. You just have to do some light digging to find them.
That's fair. And with that out of the way, we're going to get straight back into this second semi-final match. And it's Cosalina with the Twin Tail Penzo with the Cobra, who comes in with a nice big 170 grab. And Cosalina activated Rush.
Oh!
Wow! That was an interesting series of events there. So I thought Cosalina was just a bit too far away from the rush, but just about tagged Penzo when they were going for his own as well, so Penzo couldn't get anything. Cosalina at least got 100 at the very least, and gets 2 shocks and a grab. And Cobra was, well, getting out of that corner is a little bit more finicky. Just look at the shape of that corner. It just bends in. It's quite the hard one to get out of. A little bit different to how Temple Grounds corners are, especially when the pillars go down, but it's still a very awkward corner.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, and Corselina just... Corselina has this thing where the second she gets a shock, if she's close enough, you know a grab's coming. And Penta's gotta watch out for that.
He does have a couple of nice arms, though. Famous tools of Max Brass that have kind of been like mainstay arms since their inception. The Nade and the Roaster, neither of which have homing. They have full mobility, meaning the wielder has all the options in the world, and if they're getting the right reads, you're just having a bad time.
And finally does get one of those moments, scoring a 305 rush onto Corselina, but one thing they need to do now is not be too aggressive here. Putting on too many arms with Corselina closing the gap. It does allow for more of those explosions to hit. And in fact, actually does get the KO. I think Twintel was trying to be a little too up close, trying to get into position where the rush would activate, but when you're going up against a nade, especially when it's charged, the explosion is just that much extra damage will always hurt you. And again, just consistently catching Twintel. She's just moving into them every time.
Yeah, Corselina is just both of these players are doing great things. Like, there's so much change, there's so much flow in these two. A nice catch with that rush there. Both players really comfortable and just know how these characters work, know what they're wanting, know how to try to punish their opponents. So it's really just an intricate dance between these two.
That's right, just seeing who can punish first, and Cobra's going to get another grab, obviously, that additional damage, because that's what Cobra does. Tries to go for the rush, but not going to happen. You can see where they were going for, but it's a little bit harder to get that. I think you need to
be a bit closer.
Yeah, it's a little bit harder to get that combo to work, but if it does work, it's a lot of damage. But Corselina keeping this very close, but they'll have to be careful. They know they went down to the nade last time round, both in critical condition on similar health. Corselina will have rush available to them, so it's just when they want to use it. In fact, never mind, they don't even need it.
Oh no, they needed that. They needed the rush for that. That was a rush pressure tactic. Penzo had so little options there. What he basically needed to do to be able to get out of that is as soon as Kosa set up like that, he needed to charge, and as soon as he charged his arms, he needed to start dashing out of the way so that he could maybe be out of the corner. And even then, there's a high chance Kosa could have just saw that, threw out the rush, and punished it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was a bad place to be. He was in the hot pocket corner, and Kosa was ready to just pounce on him.
Ready to pounce and eat said hot pocket.
Just consumed that hot pocket snake flavor right there.
As we move into our second point, remember this is a best of 3, so Corselina wins this one as well. She'll be advancing into the winners final. Cobra are going to come in with that Gusher, and they'll hope to not only stack that poison, but to just keep Twintel out of the air.
So this is one of Penzo's favorite arms. He uses it a lot. He definitely likes it, and there's a lot of good reason. He's got a really good synergy right here where he's got 2 explosion arms. That's an element that Twintel can generally struggle with because that messes with her timing on her perfect shield to responses or plays. But not only that, but that Glusher is also a great counter for aerial movement, as it has that upper arc, which means that if Corselina leaps into the air, the Glush is going to punish it. Which is why Corselina hasn't really been jumping that much in this round, and kind of has just steadily been punching Penzo in the face, and now has a game point.
Yep, every time you saw Penzo go in with the Gusher, the Thunderbird would just catch Penzo in some way. And you just saw for most of that second point, Corselina was just on half health and wasn't budging from it. Fires out a rush. Unfortunately, Penzo was already blocking. Penzo tried to slide out, got a little bit of 40 damage, but they'll take that.
So for that, Bubba is helping out a lot. It's allowing Penzo to kind of box down a lot of these attacks. But Thunderbird's still really sneaky, and it can work wonders around any attack. We're gonna see 2 glorious combos coming right in, and now Penzo adding massive health deficits.
Yeah. And needs to get into a position to catch Twintel out, get the rush, and here it comes. They just about managed to make it work. 345 and a poison stack. Yep, there's the poison. But both now in critical condition, but Kozolina gonna come for the rush, and that's gonna be a KO. But I love in that match. I love in that match how we saw the Thunderbird paralyze in both different ways in back-to-back grab combos. One through the full curve and one just straight in the face.
And you know that you realize what that means that we're coming up to right now, eh?
Uh-oh.
We're coming up to what might potentially be a Twintel mirror match.
Uh-oh. Whoops.
I mean, Shady does technically also have a Ribbon Girl, which is one of EU's favorite ones, which should be on their flag, not the blorb. But we'll have to see which one Shady feels like bringing out. Twintel mirror matches are really interesting because of the fact that, like, Actress Aura becomes so much more interesting in that case because both of them have the option. It's not just something that you can kind of use to pressure your opponent. Your opponent has to be like, all right, how am I going to respond to this? You're literally the same person, so it's like, I'm going to try to pressure you with this, and your opponent responds by going, I'm also going to pressure you with this, and then you're just kind of, you're either awkwardly standing there staring at each other, or it's just like a violent dance where both of them are trying to use it for like half a second to be like, slow down here so I can see slightly, and I respond, and then you slow it down, and then you respond, and then we're just kind of like going mad.
I also just want to quickly point out what this means to the tournament right now, because whatever happens, Shady or Kozolina will finish in top 3, which means no matter what happens, we're going to use either Yam or Penzo out of the top 3. Which just feels weird since they've been in there so long. Alright, we are gearing up for our winners final, and it is going to be a double Twintel, a Twintel.
And this is a very, like, if I think of a Twintel mirror match, this is the stage I think of, sparring ring. Nothing in the way, just these 2 beautiful actresses looking to get in there and pummel each other senseless.
And it's Kozolina who starts with the first punch, but that skull is going to take quick work of any doubts that Shady is not going to come out swinging, because they most certainly are. Arm weak already for Kozolina on that left side, so Shady already putting up a lot of pressure. It's really just a case of who's going to get the punch, exactly.
But now it's Kozolina getting that pressure and is going to be able to start getting some confirmed damage in there. Oh, the disarm! Going to be able to follow up 100 damage. And now both players ready with Rush. I think Shady's would technically outbox Kosa's, but I don't think Kosa's too worried about that. Just needs a couple more safe pokes. The Tri-Ball is such a solid, great option. Either that or Tri-Blast, like, both of them work so phenomenally well. That coverage, that wide blast, really, especially against something like the Skull 8, it really allows Kozolina just to kind of outbox and just overwhelm Shady. But now we're going to have Shady doing the reverse here with that Chakram, definitely going to help out with that weight advantage.
Yeah, I was just sort of like playing the patient game, allowing Kozolina to try and fill out those punches. Kosa will respond with a 250 rush and immediately follows up with another direct toaster hit, but Shady at least being able to trade these blows a little bit more this time round. But they need to be aware of that charged up Tri-Ball, because anytime that stun comes out, you know Kosa's going to punish it. And already again, the arm weak on that left-hand side.
Another really nice property that the Tri-Ball has is just the fact, because it's such a wide shot, even if it misses, there's a lot of high chance that it's going to do some arm damage as well. But Shady with a good read, a good call, that's probably going to bring out the Thunderbird, which means that we're going to move from both of them having light arms to both of them being pretty curved with their arms now.
Or not.
No, Kosa's gonna stick with it.
So Kosa firmly believes that this is gonna work, and well, there you go. If you wanted proof of that, a straight up stun grab combo in the first 10 seconds. Make that 2 in the first 10 seconds.
Shady just going in for that double punch. That is, you don't double punch a Twin Tail ever. It's legally against the rules. If you go for a double punch against Twin Tail, you just get punished the worst way possible every time.
And that's another 250, and Kosalina has a massive health lead. That's going to be another direct toaster. All she needs is one more poke, and she's going to take the first point in this best of 5. But Shady making sure that that does not happen. Gets a stun and a grab themselves, and a rush. It's not going to be quite KO now. It's Kosalina in trouble. My word, who's going to get it? We can't have another double KO, surely not. Arm weak on the left side, so they'll need to be careful. It does fade in the end. And Shady just dancing around here, but the bolt will land! The bolt will land and take it. Oh, Kosalina had to play very carefully there. And it pays off in the end. She will start with that first point. It's going to set the tone for the entirety of this best of 5, isn't it?
I'm down for this. I've got my tea. Honey was on sale, so I got a... This is the first time I've had honey in like a very long while. It was really cheap, so I'm like, let's buy 2 of them. And now I can put honey into my tea, and it tastes amazing. And I cannot wait to sip on this tea while watching some very intense and exciting matches.
That was a segue and a half.
Yes.
Sparring again. Alright. So, Shady wants a rematch immediately. Are we going to see the same arms, I wonder?
Nope, Shady's also put on a tri-bolt.
Oh, no.
Going in gun for gun.
Yep, it's a, it's going to be one of those matches, isn't it? Kosalina's going to start with, well, the exact same loadout she started with last time round. Shady's going to come in with that roaster and that ram as well. The Jack Ram. Just managed to get a nice little punch on Kosalina, but is again being caught out by those bolts, and again arm weak on the left-hand side.
Just that widespread coverage, it makes it really scary to play against. But if Shady's playing calm, playing collected, can get a couple of confirms and combos off of that Chakram himself, which is definitely just a solid tool. That's a weakened arm. That could actually lead into a shield break right here. But Kosa going to choose to hold on to that rush, just takes the loss here. And Shady's starting off very strong.
Yep, they're starting to learn exactly what Kosalina is aiming to do. But they're still going to stick with that loadout, and comes in with the rush, does catch Shady. That's going to be 270. But don't count this out just yet, because Shady is getting these stun grab combos in now, and it's starting to shift towards their favor. But you know, if Kosalina can stick with that center ground, they'll try and catch Shady out with another couple of bolts of their own. Both get the hit, but it's Shady who actually gets the knockback.
Just 2 uncharged bolts, technically doing a little bit more than the Chakram there. And like, we are seeing a lot of what I was talking about too, where both are just kind of standing there, actress or walking around, just like staring at each other, trying to calculate what their opponent is going to do. This is, in a lot of cases, it kind of feels like just probably one of the more complicated matchups out there, because there's so much that's going on, but in these players' minds as they're trying to figure out what they're looking for, what they want.
Oh wow, 2 stuns back to back for Shady. They tip this back into their favor. Both go for rush, but it's Shady who's going to hit it first, and we'll take it 2-0. And that's going to be 1 apiece in this set.
That weight advantage just making a huge difference there. And that tri-bolt just not able to cover it out.
Well, so that means no matter what happens, we'll be seeing a match 4. Now, are we going to see Sparring Ring for the 3rd time tonight in a row?
Nope.
Nope, we're going to
Buster
Buster.
Beach. So we are going to get a little bit of a mix-up on tempo, a little bit of a mix-up on pace. Different stage this time. A little more variety, a little more flair. And it looks like both are going to be sticking with these arms. Chakram definitely just serving as a great answer for the tribal. Now that Shady's starting to warm up to what they want to do here. Don't want to throw out that Chakram too often because it is something that, if it's successfully blocked, leaves you completely exposed.
And Kozlina starts with a solid bolt stun into a grab once again, and another follow-up as well with the, thankfully both were uncharged, so, but there's still a lot of damage already so early on.
Shady gonna be able to respond in kind, get some light damage of their own. But it's another tri-bolt combo coming in. Kosa is definitely making Buster Beat work so much more for her. But Shady does have that rush ready and is just looking for any confirm.
Yeah, you saw they were able to bring this back last time round, but it's not gonna happen this time. The stun with Kozlina close enough to get the grab, just into a KO instantly. But this means that they will both start with a rush in the second point.
And here we go!
It's time!
Quite literally a mirror matchup except for that roaster versus the toaster.
Yep, which one is better, the unguarded arm or the guarded arm? And as of right now, it's the unguarded arm because Shady able to block off all of that damage, gets a stun and a grab, so that the weakened arm will fade away and gives them a big advantage.
Oh, and another one. That could actually have been the KO there. Shady was just not... I don't think Shady was actually ready for that setup, though. And maybe we might see Kosa. She's started getting a little bit more tempo. She just has to be able to start bringing this train around. It's not easy, and we're gonna have both of them trade.
Oh, they both hit each other, but crucially for Kozlina, well, heartbreakingly enough for Kozlina, they only needed one point to go down anyway, so it was never gonna end well. Shady will start with rush available, but will not land it this time round. Kosa has a rush of her own. That was a very awkward trade there. Neither of them going down.
Oh. Shady is starting to get very familiar with that approach and is just punishing it hard. Just hopping right over the tribal, canceling out a lot of its existence. That's the third time Kosalina's gone for that setup and it's just been canceled out. Gonna go for the rush, just recognizing that option is no longer working here.
Just about able to catch Shady in mid-air this time round. Using the slow-mo to good effect, but unfortunately Shady had a rush ready just in the nick of time. And that's critical for Kozlina, and that grab will finish it.
A trick a lot of players, especially once you start to get to the really high end, a lot of players will actually choose, rather than go in for the punish in cases like that, they will just go for the perfect shield, advance, and then bring back the shield. Recognizing that in a lot of cases, once you get to, top level ARMS competitive play, they will be aware that, you have the rush ready, it's got a parry to it, I don't have an explosion on this arm, so if I try to go for the punish attempt off of the double punch you just made, I'll go for it, and then you'll just rush, and then I'll get hit. So I'll just kind of bait out your rush, try to scare you, and then in most cases, they will use rush, and then you just safely block it out.
Oh yeah. And we're just getting confirmation that we're going... Oh wow, we're going back to Buster. We're going back to Buster, so Kozlina wants to go back there, gonna play the same tactic that Shady played when we had a rematch on Sparring Ring, and that ended up going into Shady's favor, so maybe Kozlina believes that they can at least get a point back this way as well, so we'll see how it plays out. Are we going to see that Thunderbird coming out this time after Kozlina? Nope, still going to stick to that tripod, so we're still going to remain on this glove tri-bolt combo.
And Shady starting off with a great call out there, just recognizing that pause. We're starting to see real Shady here. They're starting to just be alright, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. I'm very familiar with what Kosalina's doing at this point. I'm just gonna start calling things out. I'm just gonna start making reads. and a lot of them are just being rewarded. Speaking of, Kosalina gonna get a nice grab there, but he's gonna get caught by another tribal.
We're just about able to get away from that grab. The glove coming out just in the nick of time, but Kosalina's gonna fall foul to that rush, I'm afraid, and again finds herself in a position where, well, one more punch will likely knock her out. Does get the stun, but isn't close enough to be able to punish it. Gets another stun. This time she will punish.
And now that rush can KO.
That certainly can if Shady can't block it. And there it is! Wow! The stun, and Kosalina went, yep, that's mine. Rush, please.
That was definitely the right call, I'd say there. I'm pretty confident the grab would not have KO'd at that point.
No.
So it's just like, if you go for the grab, then you have to go through one more exchange, one more read, and that might not be easy. This is Shady we're talking about.
Yeah, we're seeing
Shady's kind of been making a bunch of really strong reads and callouts themselves. Could have ended very badly if that rush wasn't expended right there.
Oh yeah. But to be fair, Kosalina is almost there on that charge and is going to avoid all of what Shady just threw there, so this is looking good for Kosalina if they can hang on to this here. They've got to keep...
Nice
wow!
play!
Saw where Shady
Jumped
was
into
going to
the-
land, yeah.
Jumped into the air, baited out that tribal, and then just dashed to the side and punished it. And another nice punish. Kosa has adapted.
Kosa got Shady in the corner. Shady in critical. That's a stun.
And-
That's a grab. That is match 5, people.
That is now a score of 2-2. Kosalina started to get a little tense. You could tell she was getting a little freaked out, trying to figure out what she needs to do. And then she was able to calm herself down. And then she's just like, oh, you're starting to respond to my plays, my punish attempts. So now I'm going to respond to those. And now this game is mine again.
So, 2 apiece in our first best of 5 tonight. And we are going to Temple Grounds to finish it off.
This is a very nice stage to be finishing things off. And this is also going to be a lot of these other stages. Well, actually, no, Buster Beach was very much one where it's like, who's winning is winning. This is also going to be a little bit more balanced, but still kind of lean into that a bit. We're going to have to see. Shady does have height advantage, and...
Nope, no,
Okay.
ditched it last second. I thought they were going to do it too. I thought they were going to go double roaster, but no, it's just going to be roaster chakram.
I love the tension at the start of a match, just as commentators, like, being able to sit back and just watch them try to equip arms and just be like, what are they going to go for? What would be the call here? What are they wanting here? Pretty much any 3 of those combinations, double roaster, roaster chakram, or roaster tribal, are all definitely really good setups. But right now, it looks like that chakram might not be working out nearly as well as Shady wants.
Yeah, there was
Kosalina holding on to a very light lead here.
Yeah, there was a moment right near the start where Shady got the stun, but missed the grab somehow. But isn't going to miss that rush and forces Kosalina into the corner, which is not where you want to be, especially on this stage. It's hard enough to fight it as it is. Gets to the middle, but unfortunately tried to still be aggressive, and Shady punished that immediately. And it's,
That bolt just got punched out.
and now Shady is going to do what we thought they were going to do in the first place, double roaster.
Oh, and a nice, perfect deflect right there. Just at that last frame. That looked like it was going to connect, but the rush deflect coming in and is going to allow Kosa to start off with a very strong lead here.
Yeah, nearly getting caught out by another roaster punch, just about able to avoid these. Both players have arms weak, but that stun and grab will send Shady flying. And that's going to be a rush coming out. Kosalina will take all of that. 320. Still has health lead, but that's starting to close up very quickly. Does get a couple free punches as Shady does miss the grab. Shady in critical. Kosalina will try and hang on to the rush where possible, but this is getting very, very tense here. A couple more punches will send Kosalina into critical, and Shady almost has rush back.
Oh, yo!
And that is exactly what she needed. Got the stun. just about. Got the grab as well. It was in the right place. Pillar didn't block them. In fact, takes both of the pillars out. We are going to the final point in this final match. And both have
going in with their main arms right now. They're like, this is the answer. Kosa's been able to take the Chakram down with the Tri-Bolt. Shady's been able to take this down with the Chakram. But that is going to be the first rush that Shady's going to actually miss. Oh. With that Chakram just at that range.
Yeah. Did manage to get the arm break, and Kozlina trying to be in their face, but isn't able to get any kind of damage in at the moment. It's all Shady. Kozlina needs to find a moment, but it's not going to happen like that. A stun into a grab. Shady hasn't really taken any damage yet. Finally does, in the form of a rush 280, but Kozlina's still got a mountain to climb here. They need to calm this down a little bit. They need to play a little bit more patiently.
That toaster needs to come into this match a lot more. That thing is just constantly whipping out, and that's actually gonna be it. That's just it.
Oh, Kozlina, that was unfortunate, but yep, that is gonna be 3-2 to Shady. What a best of 5 that was, and it's Shady who goes to the grand final. Kozlina will have to do it all again in the underground final. But like I said, at worst, Kozlina's gonna finish 3rd in this competition. But Shady...
Definitely a good place to be.
Yeah, definitely a very good place to be. Meanwhile, we can now report to you the results of the Underground Round 1 bracket. Valoria beating Penzo 2-0, so Penzo doesn't even finish in the top 3 this time. That's quite a surprise. Aloria really improving a lot. Meanwhile, Yam beating Yoshi 2-1, so it will be Aloria and Yam. Damn it. It's the first match from round 1 in the in round 2 of the underground bracket.
We've got ourselves a rematch.
Yes, we do. So that'll be interesting. No matter what happens then, Kozlina will face off against a different opponent then, because in this tournament, Kozlina has not fought either of these players.
It's always nice to have a little bit of change of pace.
Oh yeah. So as we await for our participants to arrive, let me get this quickly reset down. So this is the underground semi. And like I said, it is Yam versus Aloria. That should update nicely. There we go.
Glorious. And it looks like we're going to be starting off with the Temple Grounds.
Good. Starting exactly where we left off. Yeah. That's always good to see. So
I kind of wish we had a couple more options and stages. Like, we've got a lot of great stages, but at the same time, it's just like, there is that line kind of where it's just like, if only we had like one more good defensive stage, then we could bring Sky Arena in, and then it'd be like, we would have so much variety.
I mean, as somebody who would like to see Sky Arena in there, it would be nice.
I'm actually thinking of getting Sky Arena to be put into the rotation for my offline group, so that I can play around with a couple more stages beyond the standard 7. Make it a little bit higher. Make it 8 or 9 so that they're getting a little more than half of the entire game stage list.
Wow, Yam is already on fire. Just grab after grab here. Aloria needs to use that Brawler to decent effect here. Finally doing so. Getting some good catches with the Ram as well. But Yam was just starting off with just a flurry of grabs that just Aloria was not expecting. I like that Yam's gone for the Chiller and the Thunderbird. So basically, if you don't get shocked, you're getting frozen, which for someone like Lola really slows them down. But that shock into a rush is gonna give Yam that first point.
It's actually a really nice loadout setup. I'd honestly say that's better than going in with Sparky and Phoenix or something along those lines, just because Chilla is definitely like better than the Sparky. While you don't get necessarily as great options or your confirms aren't nearly as consistent as the Sparky, then you just throw in a Thunderbird and it pretty much just means that you are going to get confirmed city whenever and wherever you please.
Also, I do like the fact that Yam is now playing as Iceman in disguise, gonna come out with a bird chuck and a chiller.
I wouldn't say it's Iceman. Iceman's generally the least likely player in this scene to use the freeze arms beyond like the ice dragon.
I just like.
In fact, I think we see Iceman use more fire elemented arms than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that name needs to be updated. The Chuck comes out with the rush, and Lola is gonna block all of that, hiding behind the pillar, which also helped. And that is another big explosion. They caught one with that rush earlier on in that point. They got a second, which all but confirmed a KO. And that's what you gotta be careful about with those missiles. The explosions are big enough. The rushes are just brutal from them.
Yeah, that's the kind of rush where it's easy to land, and you only need 2 of them, and like that's all the exchange you need. Like you can win every single other hit, but if you land your 2 rushes, you win the round. Just like this is one of the few loadouts where you actually have like a win condition that's just like kind of consistently there, because it's so hard to outbeat the ram rush. It's does so much damage, especially coupled up with the homie. Like, so all you're doing when you're not with rush is you're just trying to play safe, you're trying to play smart, not get too caught up in anything, and then you get rush, and then you throw out the rush, and then you go back and you kind of play back into building up rush again with being your main focus.
And Yam is wise to it this time round, able to go all the way to the corner and block all of that. And the Warrior is actually in critical condition, so a couple more hits like that, and Yam is going to take the first point in this set. Just missing the grab and gets a face full of Ram, but should be fine, and is indeed fine. The Bird Chug is going to get the final hit in, and that is going to be at the first point in this Underground Semi to Yam. And do remember that this is the last best of 3 of this tournament. After this match, it will all be best of 5s.
Why does Ribbon Girl have such big eyelashes? Like, it's kind of spooky.
It's not that spooky.
They're huge! They're so massive! I mean, I get it. She's a pop star. She's kind of gotta have that character to it. But, like, they just stand out to me. Like, I guess Twintel kind of has that too. But it's not as noticeable for me. Like, Ribbon Girl's the only one. Oh, I guess Lollipop has it, but it's a lot more subtle. But it's also still kind of there. A lot of the women have these like really weird like 3-pronged eyelashes, where it's just like 3 spikes across the front of their eyes. It's like you could stab somebody with those things. They're so sharp.
You also do realize that it could be part of the mask too, right?
I mean, it could be, but. It could be, but I'd also disagree with that because it moves right along where the bottom of the eyelid would be. So like when their eye is fully open, it's of course up, and when their eye closes, it goes all the way down.
Alright. What do you reckon in chat? Let us know whilst we watch this entertaining match as Aloria gets shot and immediately beaten down. Lola on her home stage, and it's actually going to get a grab on the ribbon, setting her back. And again, Yam is going to come out with this from the bird chuck combo. I like the fact that Lola is coming in with that Scorpio. See if they can get some poison stacks and stutter this ribbon girl just a little bit. Oh, weak on the right side just a little bit, but quickly fades away.
Here comes the first rush, and that is going to be a very safe block. Aloria just going to get pushed back into the corner. Nothing too serious though, because without being knocked down, Lola just like super jumps, bounces somewhere, and is completely out of that corner again.
Gets the freeze on Yam and a slight knockback. Gonna see if they can punish with the rush, and does indeed get them. 330 leaves a chill instead of the poison. If they can get a grab here, that would be great for them. If they could just maintain the health lead for the next 20 seconds, that would also put them right back into this match. Gets another freeze.
There it is!
There's the grab that they were looking for. And with 16 seconds to go, Lola gets themselves the point. So Ribbon gonna come in with that chiller from the bird, and Aloria, well, they're gonna stick with what worked. Scorpion just nibbling away at Ribbon's ankles. Everyone likes a little bit of poison.
Oh yeah, the poison is just it's such a delightful element. Only 3 arms in this game have that element, but all of them are arguably pretty solid. Not necessarily, some maybe not as meta as the others. Scorpion being, of course, the first one to come to mind on that.
I was gonna
But
say.
technically, we did see all 3 in this bracket.
That's true. And Scully Bush used a good effect in that match that we saw as well, so... But look at this pressure that Lola is piling on. Gets a grab punish immediately. And does have a rush to use if they want to. But Ribbon is able to just about get away from that. So wasted opportunity there for Aloy. It's still not the end of the world yet though, because they're getting a good couple of combo hits here. But they've got to be careful now, because Yam will want to use that rush as a little bit of a fear tactic. Especially keeping Aloy back into that corner is forcing them to have to make these jumps to get back into the middle. Yam just keeping their distance at the moment.
Just respecting the threat, the danger that Aloria is potentially capable of exuding here, especially since Yam does have the health lead. You can tell Yam doesn't want to do anything too risky here, doesn't want to make a play that can leave them vulnerable, and is just going to capitalize on that jump.
If anything, that'll probably work out for them going into this third point, because they forced Yam to use that rush.
Yeah, that's going to be good for Aloria. We'll have to see if Aloria's able to like capitalize on it though, because this is still Ribbon Girl we're talking about, and Ribbon Girl, especially with the arms that Aloria has chosen, it's not an easy opponent to catch. But I'm gonna be proven wrong with a 445 damage rush plus 24 damage on top of that,
and a double stack of poison to boot, because it was the last thing to hit. So. Wow, look at that. Yam is already past the halfway mark on damage.
That was some amazing pressure. Just immediately terrified Yam, and it's just like, I'm scary. Now I'm gonna rush you. And exactly what Yam was trying to prevent happens.
Oh my!
And no rush for you, Yam. No rush for you. But you can have a quick ice chain here.
And a grab. Yep, there you go. Aloy nearly with rush available, and you know that if they can get into a position to fire another missile off, they'll probably do so, but they're on equal terms here. And remember, if Yam wins this, it's all over. Oh, Yam! Yam, you're so close! And that's not gonna connect! It's just chip damage, but it does mean that Yam is a poke away if it can land. But we've seen Yam do this before. Forced all the way back into the middle corner, just from the Scorpion again alone. It's just such a disruptive little arm.
It's so sneaky, the Scorpion having 2 different states to it. It has that little crawl, and then it also has that kind of curve.
Wait, Yam has lead! Yam has lead!
No!
Wow! Yam was like, okay, I've used rush. I have literally a millimeter lead. Let's back off. And Aloy just went, yeah, please, missile, thanks.
Aloria's like, oh wait, I have rush. I think in that position, Yam's literal only option was to dodge. If Yam couldn't dodge that rush, Aloria won, because there's 3 things that happen. Yam dodges, Yam wins. Yam shields, takes too much chip damage, is now a magic pixel. Aloria has probably like 10-15 health. Aloria wins.
Oh,
Aloria hits, Aloria wins. So it's like, it's just like, I'm just covering my options here. Might as well do that.
Oh my gosh. And just imagine, like, we were just like watching that. Aloria and Yam are probably just like, their hearts are probably going, because Aloria was just like, my shield broke at the last second there, I'm probably gonna lose this in the last second. And then Yam's just like, I could still lose this.
The poor loves are both like trembling and shaking with stress because of how intense that was.
Well, we're going to Scrapyard. It's gonna be a counter pick.
Everybody give some hugs for our 2 beautiful players here, Aloria and Yam. Let's get some hugs going out in chat for them. Much love.
I like the chat. Yam has lead. Yam had. No. Yam has lead. Yam had lead. I like that.
Very nice.
Yam had lead for 1.3 seconds.
The 1.3 seconds was like a very important 1.3 seconds where it's like, I've got this, I need to make this, okay, never mind.
I need to get as far away from this clown as possible. Oh no.
Oh no, the spooky scary clown snuck up on me.
Oh boy. Well, the third and final match between these two, and I love the fact that in round 1 in the OG tournament, it was 2-0 to Yam. Now it's 1 apiece here in the underground semi. So Aloria really has came into their own here. And it's going to see if they can make this Scorpion homie combination work again. And Yam will know that they just cannot allow that thing to explode in their face again.
Yeah, this is just a scary combo. Like, it's a little slow, it's easy to miss, but at the same time, like, it comes out probably a little bit faster and more suddenly than a lot of people would expect. And if you're making a good call with it, then it's just like, well, I guess I'm just gonna lose, like, half of my health in a single exchange.
So, yeah, keeping that nice bit of range. Obviously, there are 2 pillars in the middle as well, so not as much as the other stages, but the reason why it's the counter pick is just because of that high elevation as well. But the rush is going to come out in the favor of Yam. Sends Aloria down past the halfway mark. And it's,
yeah, Aloria was so close to actually making that rush land. Did you see that Scorpion, like, just barely whiff?
Yeah, so close, but that's what it comes down to in these matches. Sometimes just literal millimeters. And that's another good solid 1-2 punch for Yam. One more hit on Aloria will do it. I don't think Aloria is going to get this. Not with 10 seconds to go. No, I think there's too much of a health gap. I think Aloria probably knows it. Yam will probably just keep hold of this rush and keep the distance between them. Does get the KO in the end with 3 seconds to go. And once again, Yam finds themselves in a position where they could win this set.
We're gonna stick with this loadout. Does have another rush ready. Just gonna eat that one. 270 damage and a restand, meaning that Aloria just immediately gets to start getting back in on the chase. And this rush pressure is already coming in. Yam is already feeling so much pressure and is gonna eat another 405. Yeah!
Aloria self-destructed! How did you do that, Aloria? That was the last thing you needed.
Oh no!
You did the hard part, you got the rush, but thankfully they've got the grab and actually still have somewhat of a lead. But they need to not take many of those more to the face. That grab just about blocked away from Ribbon. Ribbon finds himself in crit first. Shield was up for too long, so it's immediately punished. Yam could try and finish this with a rush. Goes for it. Is going to connect. And there is the KO. And you just feel
so
like...
bad for Aloria.
That self-destruct, that hurt. That hurt a lot. It must have just clipped off the ledge, just underneath it. And Lola was too close as a result.
Aloria got that first read, and then what happened there was just because there was that huge step up where Yam was just eating damage. It's like, yeah, Aloria couldn't really throw another attack because they were too low down. But Aloria wanted to go for it. A lot of players, when they go into rush, they kind of just focus on that turret mode. They focus on gunning things down. So even though it was like very clearly not a good idea, yeah, Aloria was just so focused. It's just like, I'll just throw out the next one. And didn't think to back up or anything. So they ended up just eating like a quarter of their health away from themselves.
But seriously though, that was still, despite all of that, was an amazing set. Some very close matches. Aloria will finish 4th in this competition, and Yam, the winner of last week's Scrapstar Series, still has a chance of retaining the title, but to do so, they will need to beat Corsalina in the Underground Final. Oh, at least we get to have a slight breather before we start this.
Just a quick moment. I still feel so bad. It's always insane when that stuff happens.
Oh.
Why does this? The EU brackets always are up to like something crazy. They're either doing things like last week. They're doing this stuff where everything's to the bone, or that.
Everything is either to the wire or everything is just the rulebook's out the window.
Or it's a Gone Show.
Yeah.
It's generally one or the other. Where did Gone Show come from anyways?
I don't even know.
Gone Show origin. The origins of this usage apparently connected to an association of the term gone with Asia, historical source of opium in the 19th and 20th centuries. I see.
Probably not the
That
answer you would
explains a
expect.
lot. That explains everything pretty clearly.
Also, I like that. Congrats, you get to continue being stressed. Well, let's see if Yam's heart can slowly wind back down just a little bit as they prepare themselves for this underground final. The loser here will finish in 3rd position. The winner will go ahead and face off against Sheddy. It will be a rematch regardless of what happens.
Apparently it was also a TV show in the 70s.
No.
Sort of thing.
Hope you're taking notes, people. This will be in the next general knowledge quiz.
It's basically a televised talent show that was known for outlandish performances and general chaos more than anything else. That also explains it, but in a much more tame way.
That sounds like the Scrapstar series as a whole, doesn't it? Going into chaos.
Welcome to the Gone Show. It's the Gone Show's revival.
It's the spin-off series called the Scrapstar. Alright, we are...
So it's either... So Gone Show is either people losing their minds because of drugs or because of a TV show. Interesting. What's also interesting is this match that we got here. Yam quickly getting grab comboed by Kosalina and starting off with a strong 280 damage.
Yep, and Yam's gonna have to be very careful of that. Kosalina's just trying to be up in Min-Min's face as much as possible so that that dragon can't really do its thing. But it benefits more from a range perspective, and you just see Kosalina just forcing Yam into that corner, and it's just, the dragon just continuously misses. Their only hope is the popper, which is just about being outfoxed, but finally does land a little bit of a hit, does have rush available, but then again, so does Kosalina. And with both pillars already down, Min-Min doesn't have much place to hide anymore.
That rush, Yams also has to be very cautious with that rush. Probably only going to use it as either a hard read or a win confirm, because any other case, Kosalina will just gun it down with their own rush. And that's probably what Kos is trying to do here, is just scare Yam into throwing out their own rush, and then looking to deliciously capitalize on it.
Just get caught by the dragon though, and it's actually starting to lose that health advantage. In fact, it's pretty much even now with 20 seconds to go. Let's not say that. More chip damage
that's gonna be another
it.
combo.
And that sends Yam into critical condition. And 10 seconds to go. Yam needs to hit something here, otherwise it's definitely not going to happen. Does indeed get a popper, but I don't think I'll get any punish. No.
Yam should have went for the rush there.
Yeah, I was expecting that as well. Twintail was high enough in the air that you thought the rush would have definitely sealed it, but no, Yam held onto it.
Like, there was a little bit of weird camera movement, so it would have been a little trickier to aim. But at the same time, it's just one of those cases where it's just like, I want the round. It's important to take the round here. This is the confirm. Take the confirm.
And Twintail again, just about able to block off most of that rush. And again, forcing Yam straight back into the corner.
And whatever would have happened with that rush attempt would have been better than what literally just happened there, where Yam's rush basically just got thrown into the gutter And Kosa is just continuing this oppression. Ooh, a nice grab attempt. The Dragon gonna save Yam out though.
That's a lot of
That's a shield break.
Yep, that is a shield break, so they'll at least get an additional 80 on top of all that chip damage, but Yam does now have a rush of their own, and if they can at least set this up properly this time around, they might go for it. Constantly gets grabbed, that's critical for them. So they can't really afford to get caught at all here, so Yam will either now try and hold on to this rush where possible, or if they suddenly find themselves in a very critical spot. Oh, here it comes.
There it is.
Felt like it had to come at some point.
And again, that was actually another good example of what I was talking about before, where if Kosa just went for the bait there, rather than throwing out that tribal, Yam wouldn't have been able to land that rush. It would have just been a safe bait. Kosa would not only take chip damage, probably would have rush rate now because of all that chip damage. But we're gonna have the rush ready here, and Kosa's just gonna be able to start this round much more strongly.
Yeah, that stone grab combo again coming back out. We've seen that a lot through this tournament already. Gosling is very good at being able to capitalize on it, and again, Min Min back in this corner, continuously getting peppered by the bolt.
Not gonna go for the KO there yet. I think the rush would have been like a little bit too short to be able to make that work, but it might have actually been capable. But now Kosalina is just looking for any opening, any confirm, any setup, and that rush will just be a clean close in. But
oh, they both hit each other, and Twintel is actually the one who gets the better of it in the end. And that is the grab to KO. Oh. Well, that was a busy few seconds there. Yam went for the counter rush. They both ended up hitting each other, and it was Twintel who, in the end, was allowed to hit just a couple more times.
That rush just worked out. That Yam's call out was good. That was a good call out. Unfortunately, the Ice Dragon just didn't come out soon enough. Was left, just kind of left it sitting in the air. Got a couple of hits in, but by then Kosalino was also hitting. And then at that point, Yam tried to punch through it, which, as we stated before, like Kosalina's just straight up out punches Yam's. So Yam ended up just basically deciding to eat more damage rather than going for the shield and taking some chip in exchange.
Yeah. That's the price you pay for trying to be that little bit more aggressive. But so many times in that match, that Kosalina would just have Min Min in the corner and just be like, what are you going to do? You're going to have to fight your way back out of this, and I've got a bolt that's just consistently grazing your arm.
Just constantly poking in jabs.
And
it looks like Yam's gonna switch over to the Lockjaw now. Kosa putting on a Thunderbird, like promptly calling out some stage adjustments and everything here.
Oh yeah, and obviously Thunderbird will help with this stage anyway because, well, we've said it time and time again. Curved arms are wonderful when it comes to the tubes. And also just for the pressure that itself delivers because, well, if a charged hit goes unnoticed, that's a shock against you. But so far, Yam is able to keep themselves in this. Obviously, the weight of that lockjaw and the projectile it fires is a scary enough thing as it is. But there's the shock that Kosalina was looking for. Wasn't quite in the position to properly punish it, though. But Yam will be aware of that. And another solid shock into grab. Breaks one of the tubes, immediately distances themselves, knowing that if they're a bit too close, Yam will probably try and punish with a rush of their own. Another little poke. Arm starting to show signs of weakness on the left, but quickly fades away.
Kosalina slowly closing in that distance. Does have health lead, doesn't need to make any too risky play, but Lockjaw is definitely a scary thing to play against at any range. That said, I can definitely see it being a little bit easier at close range because that just means that their opponent is left so much more vulnerable after it whiffs.
Yeah. The health lead is minimum at best here, so Kosalina needs to be careful. And that was exactly what Yam needed to do. 3 seconds. Kosalina should just, yeah, that's not going to happen for you, I'm afraid. And Yam picked that spot beautifully to go for that rush. Will get the first point, kind of making up for what they didn't do in the last match.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, for a split second I thought Yam was just going to go double throws. Don't do that. But yeah, straight back to Phoenix Lockjaw. An immediate first hit onto Kozolina.
Koza going to respond with a quick second hit, though. And that's also going to be a nice combo. A second combo coming right in, too. That's going to be 500 damage. Half of Yam's health just quickly taken away. And a nice rush. Gonna be stolen by that Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix just got out in time. And that very quickly stops that momentum as well, because like I said, Kozolina had 2 back-to-back shock grab combinations. Yam not only stopping that dead, has rush of their own as well, and they're going to pick their spot. Here it comes, 375. Kozolina is in critical condition, and Yam could easily tie this set up one apiece if they can land one more hit.
Koza is not wanting to that to happen. Starts off with 1 grab combo, is just looking for 1 more. All of Koza's damage in this round was Thunderbird grab, Thunderbird grab, Thunderbird.
We had two Thunderbird grab combos right near the start, and 2 Thunderbird grab combos to finish the point.
I mean, it do be that way sometimes. That's how the Thunderbird sings. That's how it soars. Is it hits you and it opens up a combo. It hits you again, it opens up another combo.
Yeah, I'm gonna be scared of that thing by the end of this match. Of that, I'm pretty sure. Both have rush available, so it's again just really who's gonna pick their moment to go ahead and fire on in with it. And if you're Yam, the last thing you want to do is get shocked, because, well, that's pretty much going to be a lot of open damage. And so far, the pressure of the Lockjaw, the projectile just missing each time so far. Kozolina gets another effective hit. And
gonna get caught out this time though.
Yeah, Kozolina was a little too far away. The grab centimeters away, but Yam immediately knew they were going to rush with that. Another shot catch in mid-air. Kozolina tried to go for a grab, but gonna be denied that. And so far, Yam just keeping their distance here. Kozolina trying to close the ground down, was not getting caught out by the Lockjaw or the Roaster, which is what seems to be happening here. And that is what they were looking for. Shot into a rush. They have the slight health lead here with 20 seconds to go.
Yam does have a rush coming up though, and that's gonna be like enough chip damage, or just a charged Roaster.
And that's gonna be it. Kozolina needs to land a grab, and it's not gonna happen. And Yam will equalize this setup. It took them a while to do it, and they had to go through one hell of a clutch call from Kozolina on that second point, but finally does win that match 2-1 and ties this best of 5 up 1 apiece. Ooh.
Just these two.
Your heart just can't take it.
I'm already exhausted from the last 2 intense matches that we had. I can't take a third.
Well, if it goes to a best of 5, we know what you'll be doing.
Oh gods, I'll be sleeping with the fishes. I'll be too tired.
You gotta hang in there.
No, I don't wanna.
It's your stream, you gotta.
No, you're streaming right now. I can do whatever I want. Bite me.
Nom, nom, nom.
Nom nom nom. Alright, let's get back into this. Yeah, I'm switching in the Sparky instead of the Roaster now. I can't help but feel like that's a bad call, but maybe Yam is looking for a little bit, a slice of that pie, get a couple of combos of their own in here.
And you just see what the dragon just can't do the second you're up close and personal with it. It's like the dragon was right next to Twintail, just fired off in a curve right past the ear. It's like, it's not gonna get any damage from there, and it's why you see Kozolina be aggressive like this, just to keep it on lockdown essentially.
most hilarious thought ever. Okay, hear me out.
Okay.
So the dragons, when they shoot out that laser, it's not like a laser sound, it's them just screaming. Now, when you just said that, like the dragon shoots beside Cosalina's ears, opens up, and it's just like, ah! just this ice dragon right beside Kosa, and it's just like, ah! And Kosa's like, gods, I'm trying to beat this person up.
I'm trying to beat this noodle, and all I can hear is a dragon.
All you can hear is the dragon just, ah!
I think that's what Yam is sounding like at the moment as they get caught with another shock grab combo.
Cosalina is just dominating this round. That Sparky is definitely too slow for this. As Kosa is just safely outboxing it and weaving around all these attacks. I don't think even Kosa's worried about, like, yeah, she's not worried.
Yeah, she has
no fear.
She's literally
like,
just been like, and Yam knows, I think they're gonna do a little bit of a dancey dance here. Oh no, Cosalina's just gonna watch Yam, there we go. Now they're both just like, okay, let's just wait for the timer, please, let's start jumping around.
That Sparky was just too slow. Like,
if the Sparky was so slow, why is Yam using it again?
Because it's a good combo arm. But the Thunderbird and the Toaster combo is just like, it's like Yam has the reverse of this with the Phoenix and the Sparky. But like, I'd honestly say that that's so much of a worse combo just because the Sparky is just so inferior. Like, the Thunderbird's close enough to the Phoenix where you can make a point one way or another. Where the Sparky, there is a very noticeable difference. And in a lot of these cases, like, Cosalina just having so much of an easier time evading it, even when it's as huge as it is. Like, look at this. She's not even worried right now.
As it stands.
Where Yam's she's just getting chipped down time and time again.
It's like Yam's just trying to look for an opening to apply any kind of damage, and Cosalina just keeps shutting out every single time, and that is going to be a rush. Is that going to be a KO? Yes, it is going to be a KO. And in the end, it's a pretty comfortable 2-0 in that match.
Let this be a reminder to you, loves and friends. Sparky is the worst glove. Just like, this isn't even a debate. Like, it's cool, it's got its opportunities, it's got its place here and there. But in the grand scheme of things, Sparky is like, just, oh god. Like, I've seen a lot of cool things happen with it. Some great play, some great pressure. But when your opponent is just in on things, they're just confident. If they're not scared of anything, the Sparky is not scary. Like, it's not a bad arm. In the grand scheme of arms as a whole, it's definitely in the upper echelon of arms. But that's literally because gloves are so powerful. Beyond that, for me, I look at the Sparky and my question is, why don't you use a different arm? Why don't you use a different glove? You'll get better results. You would have better results going with the Buffer Bub because you can still get combos with that. You can still get combos with the Chilla, all of which box better than the Sparky, have larger girth size than the Sparky, move faster than the Sparky, home better than the Sparky, or don't home better, which means that you have better aim with the Sparky. Pretty much there's a better thing in every way opposed to the Sparky, even if you're looking for combos. And it looks like, yeah, going to agree with me, has put that roaster back on.
Yeah. Oh wow, that was, I don't think I've ever seen that. Like, I've seen the double shock exchange, but I've never seen two and then just one of the other. So
yeah, Yam Slapamander ended up disarming Cosalina's left side, and then Kosa still landed the Thunderbird because she wasn't interrupted, so it's just like, oh, I guess I'll just hit you with the Thunderbird again.
Oh, wow. But yeah, Cosalina again with yet another health lead. Both do have rush available, but again, it's Cosalina just being patient, allowing Yam to just throw out these punches first, and will pick their time to punish here, and Yam just can't seem to do anything, and just immediate straight punch when they went for that charge.
Yeah, just a couple. Yeah, Kosa's definitely starting to get very confident, very comfortable in this matchup. Just really knows what she's wanting to do here and is kind of just outboxing Yam in most of these exchanges. Yam's starting to get some tempo, winning things back though, taking some time trying to plan out, calculate what exactly Kosalina is looking to do. Ends up missing the confirm there.
Yeah.
Still has a sizable lead though. But this rush could potentially put Yam in advantage.
Oh, 3 seconds to go. No, just missing out. But that was a very good comeback in the end from Yam. They started to see what Kosalina was doing. I was able to catch them out, but it was just, they needed just that little bit more damage, and that is an immediate shot. Punished with the punch this time around, not the grab, but I feel like Kosalina thought they probably were just a little too far away to probably punish it. This time, they will do so. And again, Yam still trying to figure out when's the best time to come in with that rush. Gonna sit there and shield up for a while. Throws out that slap again, but doesn't really connect with it.
Kosa is like being strangely scary, but in not the way you expect from Twintel. Like, we're not even seeing Kosa like bring out the actress aura. Like, look at her. She's just kind of like sidestepping. She's walking around a lot more, and she's just trying to go for these light reads and responses. And they've been working out pretty well, and just kind of messing with the tempo that Yam's probably been used to for the entire set so far.
Oh yeah. And that is another shock. That's going to be a nice grab for Kosalina. Puts themselves in an even bigger health lead. And remember, if Kosalina wins this, that's the set over, because it is best of 5. She only needs 1 more point, and that is going to be that. And that's exactly what she was waiting for Yam. A slip up like that will just throw it for you. And that's 3-1 for Kosalina, and Kosalina is back in the grand final.
Which means that we're going to get more mirror matches.
Yes, we are, and it does mean that whatever happens, we'll have a new winner.
Indeed. And it looks like Kosalina's wanting a quick break, so I'm going to take... This will be a good moment for everybody to go use the washroom, which I'm going to do in just a moment. I just want to finish my rant. So, again, I'll note, Sparky isn't bad, but, like, when I say that, like, I'm talking about on lines of, like, Popper versus Cracker. Like, when any, like, how many of you see Cracker? Ever? You don't. You just don't. Because the Popper is just, like, everybody has recognized and agreed, like, Popper is just consistently better. There's slight reasons why you could technically make, like, Cracker does 10 damage more in certain cases, and does slightly more damage on its own in Rush. But beyond that, it's like, Popper pretty much does everything that Cracker does, but in a better way. That's what I mean by Sparky is, like, bad. Well, not, like, bad, but, like, there are better options than it. Like, I would arguably say, if you're going for Sparky because you want a straightforward arm that has that shock combo, you'd be better off putting on the Megawatt. Because then you also have an even larger size, and then you also have weight advantage. Like it is one of the few cases, like, Cracker, and I'd probably say Sparky, you can make an argument, or I'd also add Blorb to that list. You can make an argument for Glamour being on that list as well, and Parabola is definitely, it's good, it's fine, it's on its own. But you can kind of make the argument with the Fire Dragon as well. Like, all of these arms, like, they technically will show up here and there, they will do things, but why would you use the Fire Dragon when the Ice Dragon does the same amount of damage, essentially, plus free combos? Why would you want to use the Sparky when every other glove does the same thing, but slightly better? Why would you want to use the Kablammer when it's not nearly as consistent as the Whammer and risks you blowing yourself up? Also, it looks like we're going to go Mausoleum.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go washroom.
Okay. Do you want me to wait, or do you want me to just continue?
Let's go.
Okie dokie. So if you're all ready for this then, best of 5, grand final. We're going to start with Mausoleum, and Shady is going to come out with that Ripping Girl, and Kosalina sticking to the Twintel. This is a best of 5. Remember, if Carcelina does win this set, we do get a bracket reset, so it's all still to play for, but Carcelina will have to do it the hard way if they wish to come out on top. Sheddy starting off with the nade and the tribolt. Carcelina going to start off with a tribolt as well, and also that toaster. And it's Sheddy who's going to be the first one to get a good grab in. We'll start counting those down, as we know both of them will like to do so. A good nice little explosion catches Carcelina out, but the stun grab combo is in play once again. Carcelina knows exactly what to do, and Ribbon Goal respond to a grab of their own. Most of this damage, I feel like, is probably going to come from those grabs, although having said that, the nade does impact and explode. Another stun explosion. That was a self-destructive. You see that the nade was charged, got knocked out, and immediately blew up. Shady going to come in with the rush, but Carcelina just landed in the nick of time, able to shield it, so just chip damage. Carcelina just about able to avoid one, sets up Shady for a rush, confirms 260, and sends Shady into critical. Let's see if they pop them back. That's a bolt stun, that's a grab. And Carcelina will start with a point. Obviously, it's not going to confirm it just yet. They need to score that second one to finally pick up that first point. Shady going to stick with the nade and tribolt. Carcelina going to stick with the tribolt toaster. Pretty much both of these players playing to their absolute strengths. But so far, it's Carcelina with a little bit of damage, but just about able to hang in midair just long enough. And finally gets a connecting blow onto Shady, but Shady is the one with rush available first, so it's funny who's going to blink first. And here it comes, and it's going to connect this time around. No shield, just 260 damage. Carcelina now has a rush of their own, just about evading the nade. Slows down the grab, can't get anything else from that, and gets caught with another nade. Ribbon Girl being as mobile as we generally see her, but it's going to get caught out by this rush again. 290 this time round. As Carcelina aims to bring this health gap down as much as possible. Tried to do a little bit of a boxing match there, but Shady got the better of it. Both hit each other, but it's Carcelina who goes into critical. Still on Shady, but not close enough to punish, and Shady now with a rush, and Carcelina wisely backs off, but is still going to get caught by that rush. And it's one apiece now. And what are we gonna see? Yep, both players sticking with their arms, and it's Shady again gonna get a grab in the first 5 seconds. Just hopping around with those double jumps. Until does finally catch her out with a bolt, but again caught out with another grab. And so far they can't seem to quite keep an eye on what is going to manage to avoid that grab this time round, but is not going to be able to connect with the rush. It's not going to be third time's the charm this time, but does manage to make up for it with another stun grab combination, keeping that health relatively same. But that grab will change things quickly, and Shady almost at another rush potential. But Carcelina keeping the pressure up, so Shady still has to very much work for this. But does get another big explosion. They're inching closer and closer to a point where they could theoretically go for that rush if they get a couple more punches in. Carcelina very much aware of that. Actually almost has a rush ready of their own. And here comes the rush, but Twintail is going to evade that. Nothing for Shady in the end. Does manage to get a grab at the very least. Carcelina just drifts into critical condition. And now it's her turn to see if she can set up for the rush, and does so. And that will be the KO. Beautiful, patient timing for Carcelina. Picked out Ribbon Gold just as she came down, got the stun, and got the free rush and the KO. And in this grand final, Carcelina is the one who will start with the first point.
Which is a very important thing, because Carcelina is going to need that advantage, needs that tempo lead to be able to lead into that bracket reset. Because this is going to be a long and difficult climb for Carcelina if she wants to be able to take this Scrapstar.
But if anyone can do it, well, Carcelina has been showing signs of improvement, like just throughout the past couple of months. Like she's been consistently getting better each and every time, and well, she's in the grand final on merit. And to be fair, she had a very close set with Shady anyway. So, no, guys, hold on a sec. Let me confirm Temple Grounds. There you go. But yeah, Coselina, you know, it went 3-2 in that final anyway, so if anyone can bring this back, it is Coselina, and she does have that first point, but now she needs to be able to follow up and keep that momentum on her side. Shady gonna switch the bolt for a chuck, the bird chuck to be exact. So,
that bird chuck can be a really interesting pick. It allows for a much more effective counter to that tri-bolt just because of that large body to it. But it's also another, once again, it's an arm that, if it's not timed well, can leave you pretty open.
you see they're managing to get the shock, but as they went for the punish, was caught out by Twintel, who was expecting a jump from it. Does get caught out by the grab as well, but it's going to be a very cagey affair. There's both with rush available. Pillar already down, both hitting each other, so I think Coselina did get the stun but couldn't follow up because of the punch. That's going to be a rush though, and Ribbon Go was a little too close to be able to do anything else about it.
But Shady still has that slight health lead and has a rush ready to boot. That can just be more than enough to take Kosa down, especially with this weakened shield, just gonna gun for it.
And there you go. Like the second you're in critical, if a rush comes out and you eat the first punch, you're probably going to get KO'd from there. It's always a given. Coselina going to stick with the loadout, and Shady obviously very happy with how that worked. Immediately catches out Twintel in the air.
The chucks are surprisingly good counters for aerial movement too. Like, they have a little bit of curve to them, especially that vertical version of it. And then also just that straight wall can also be a great option, a great opportunity to kind of cancel out a lot of movement. It's actually one of the most popular arms for a Ribbon Girl to have equipped. And you can see why here, where it just gives you so many more options than you might have otherwise.
Twintel has it all to do now. Both managed to get their rushes out, and another stun. A nice little free tap grab on for Coselina. Gets another stun as well, so quickly got that health lead back down. And it's actually taking it back now. And the grab just missed it from Shady, and that will send Ribbon into critical. Slow-mo just about saves Coselina from another explosion. And will Coselina try and hold onto their rush this time round? Yes, they do, because the stun grab combo in the corner sends Ribbon flying. It's one apiece. Coselina could still take a 2-0 lead if she plays her cards right in this third point.
Something I want to bring up quickly about the nade that just got put away. I'll bring it up later. Because Shady's got a Tri-Blast, which means a lot more wider coverage. That's going to be a light arm. It's easier for Kosa to box down. But just covering a lot of Kosa's movement can definitely be very rewarding, especially since the Tri-Blast is also an explosive arm and just allows for some really good free range of movement.
Yep, but because it is still an explosive arm, it still can self-destruct if Shady is not careful. And obviously with the Tri-Bolt, well, both of the bolts will just equalize each other anyway, so Shady's got to be careful. And obviously with that rush that Coselina has, if they can get her into a good position, this pillar is still being a little bit awkward for them. You just see Ribbon just bouncing around it, trying to get back towards it, but it's being peppered down by Coselina every time they go for it. But it should allow Shady to get back up to rush potential, and here it comes. Good solid amount, nice 300, puts Coselina into critical condition, and they'll not want to take any further damage. That grab just about missing. Coselina very up in Ribbon Girl's face and needs to time this next rush and be very, very careful with it, just consistently avoiding these bolts. But now it's just a tap away from going down. Coselina went for the grab, missed. Run for the rush, is only going to get chip damage. Misses the following up bolt and does hit Shady into critical, but Shady has rush to go and immediately pops it the second they get back up. Expecting Twintel to be that little bit more aggressive, and we'll equalize this set one apiece.
Something that I want to note here that some players might not be noticing about Shady's Ribbon Girl, but it's actually a tech that only Ribbon Girl has, and it's a very powerful one. So when Ribbon Girl is in the air, you'll notice every once in a while Shady will go for a grab. And now normally what you would expect is you go for the grab, maybe you'll be able to air dash afterwards depending on how quickly your arms retract from that. But Ribbon Girl's special because if her arms are quick enough to retract, she can actually air dash in the air, go for a grab, and then she can just kind of continue bouncing while the grab is retracting, and then she just gets to keep staying in the air and continue being a very difficult target to catch.
Wow.
Which means that Ribbon Girl has one of the safest grab options because of that. You have that height advantage, you go for the grab, even if it whiffs, you just continue flying through the air, and then you just go for another grab. I've seen Ribbon Girls be able to go for up to like 3 or 4 grabs in a row without landing on the ground once.
That's amazing. That's outrageous. And here come the grabs almost immediately. Interesting to note that Shady did switch out that Tri-Blast, so the Tri-Blast is gone completely from that loadout. I'm gonna see Birchuk nade.
Looking for something a little more consistent or steady. I think Shady switched over to the Tribal just so they have a couple more combo opportunities. But so far, things are not looking so pleasant for Shady. Kosa just kind of holding on to a sizable lead here.
It can all still change, and here comes the rush. Cosalina tried to fling out a punch to catch, but it's just not quick enough. Shady is very much in critical, and the Bolt is going to get the KO. Cosalina was just in charge for most of that. And
I'm also going to make a quick note on another important thing that Shady, this case, is actually doing wrong. So you see when Shady throws out that rush, Shady usually is actually finishing off with the Birchuk. What you might actually, a lot of players might not realize, is that different arms, especially if they're flurry arms, which we see 4 of right now on the field, they all have different finishing touches. And what I mean by a finishing touch is you see when they go in for that final hit, that's the finishing touch. You actually have the ability to choose which arm you want for your finishing touch, and that can heavily adjust what happens when you throw out that rush. For example, in the exchange that's Birchuk nade, Shady technically would probably be able to do like 90 damage with the finishing touch of nade alone, where the Birchuk is going to do about 30-40 damage with the finishing touch. So when you're throwing out that rush and you're kind of like mashing those 2 buttons, once you start getting to the tail end of your rush and you know the final finishing touch is going to start connecting soon, stop throwing out the arm that you don't want that damage on and start focusing on the arm that you want to make sure connects. So in this case here, Shady would want to stop throwing out the Tri-Bolt near the end and just focus on continuing to punch the nade, and then Shady would have got a 300 damage rush there. Like, Shady literally missed 80 damage because of that call out. Cosalina would not be conscious right now.
Yep, Cosalina is just literally a tap away. Shady has at least half health, and well, there's the KO. Stops anything else from happening there. And
in cases, oh, go ahead.
No, you first.
In cases like this, Shady definitely was going to be able to take it and bring things around. But there's a lot of cases where if you're not careful and you end up whiffing with the finishing touch, you will lose sets. You will lose matches because of that. It's something that once you start getting to the top player level, you really need to get down. You need to be able to recognize how you're kind of flowing your 2 flurry arms and lining them up together to make sure that you are getting the right arm to get the right damage. Okay, I'm done.
That's alright. And Twintel is starting to lose her way just a little bit here. Not only didn't get the right call out with their rush, but then takes a lot of damage from Shady's. It's still not over for them yet. They're still applying a lot of pressure here, but Shady has managed to land a lot more blows here. And just the mobility, the sheer mobility that Ribbon Girl brings to the table is just consistently bouncing all over the place. The bolts are there to try and help that, but remember, Shady has bolts of their own to do exactly that for Twintel. And as of right now, Cosalina's trying to figure out when to go for it. Finally gets a stun grab. And Shady, I think, is in KO range if this rush can connect.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That is a set for Kosa. Now 2-1 advantage and looking for that bracket reset.
Wow. What do you reckon? Do you reckon we could see it?
That's definitely possible. This is Kosalina, and she is currently in prime form. She's not letting any mental state. She's not getting too messed up. She's not getting too worked up over these things. She's staying focused. She's keeping her cool. She's just on track and is continuing to play as she should. She's adapting. She's learning. She's changing. She's responding. She's making the right calls, and it's definitely possible. If Shady pulls out something that... The only thing that I'd be worried about is if Shady pulls out a final trick that is like a literal meant to tilt. Like if Shady finds a way just to get on Kosalina's nerves, I could see this quickly turning into Shady's favor and then closing things out. But if Kosalina is able to keep her calm, stay focused, keep promoting that good mental health that we all need to cherish and love, I could definitely see Kosalina taking this.
Well, we're going to see, and Kosalina will start off with a stun grab combo, and if you notice that Shady has dropped the nade from the loadout completely, I'm going to come in with a toaster and a slap.
Toaster's definitely a very solid tool. Actually retracts a little bit slower than the nade in very specific occasions, but generally it's going to be faster on recovery on pretty much everything beyond the charged nade clashing with a shield. It's also a little bit faster, so Shady's just going to have a few more opportunities, a few more windows where if they get the right read, they're going to be able to catch Kosa a little more efficiently. Oh no!
That was crucial for Kosalina, but unfortunately they get it returned to them. They couldn't capitalize on the rush either, and Shady will follow up with a grab. So not completely the end of the world for Shady in the end.
Those are the best punishes, where it's like, I punish your rush, and then I throw out my rush, and I get punished too.
And right now, this is a very, very close match. Kosalina finally dipping it into critical. Shady just continuously throwing out that slap, and it's catching Kosalina out bit by bit, and just like that, Shady has Rush gonna fling it out and try and stall out this timer. 10 seconds left. Kosalina, if they can get a good couple grabs in, oh, never mind. Kosalina's the one who gets grabbed. That's
ends up diving right into that. It's just like, I welcome death. Come grab me.
Give me the biggest hug you can.
But that also means Kosalina now has rush advantage. Could arguably have been a setup. Just be like, I either get a play here to combo from the tribal into a rush and then win, or I'm just going to get caught by something, and that means Shady's not building any more rush.
And just like that, Shady is grabbed. Kosalina bouncing on the trampoline. Roll Ribbon Girl gets stunned. Yes, she will! 280. Nice play there from Kosalina. Now it's Shady's turn to go for the little bouncy bounce, and obviously with that double jump, imagine the height that Shady gets from it. But gonna get caught with the stun again. And suddenly Kosalina fighting right back into this. Shady in critical finally does get rushed, but look at the health lead that Kosalina has here.
But that's gonna be a nice shield breaker. Ends up dropping the shield just as the Manor comes in, allowing Shady to basically get a full rush. But even then, that's still 50% of Kosalina's health that Shady's gonna have to work through without getting hit once.
Oh yeah. I'm weak again on that left-hand side though for Kosalina, so can't take many more slaps like that. Down it goes, but somehow Shady missing both of those hits. Just about able to stop the bolt.
Just some very supreme evades. This is some very defensive play Kosalina is showing right now. And one of the reasons why Twintel is such a strong character, because of these opportunities. But with a few seconds left, it's going to be very close. This might be Shady's. It's not! Kosa going to be able to time it out. Perfectly calculated.
Yeah, Kosa wants to hold on to rush. Shady had just used theirs, so if Kosa can land a successful rush right near the start of this, that puts her in prime position to force this reset. But Shady can still easily pull this back, and if Kosa keeps getting caught out by that Slapamander, well, it can easily still go to that 2-2, but another quick stun.
And the slap gonna quickly take Kosa out of the air. Both of them still even. And you can see Shady is recognizing that, like, I want to just get Rush. I just need to get Rush ready in response to whatever Kosa might have planned, and now has that Rush ready.
Does get caught out with the stun though, so health is still somewhat level, so this is essentially just an even playing field right now, but now it's Shady being caught out by the arms, and the worst part is they're charged ones as well. It's stalling that time just a little bit longer.
Oh! And that puts Shady in a bad place. This is a Rush KO potentially. Tries to call something out, and out comes Shady's Rush. I think Kosa could have KO'd with their Rush there, but just chose to go for the safe poke. Might be detrimental here, because now Shady is just looking for a couple more hits. Any combo opportunity would be enough to take Kosa out.
Yeah, the last thing Kosa wants to hear is to be stunned herself. Just needs to try and catch her. The Rush, and does so! We have a bracket reset!
Kosa taking Shady down 3-1. Setting up some very strong tempo. And now, we've got one more best of 5 going on here.
Well. Well. I hope you're sitting comfortably, everyone, because this is gonna be a long night.
Can we get a quick... I'm just going to give a quick shout out to Kosalina's Hype Squad going off in chat. Just losing their mind over this girl. Going in like a beast and sending their energy to her. And that's definitely... She's got this. She got that match. And now she has to do one more. It's definitely possible. But, you know, Shady definitely still has a trick or two up their sleeve. We'll have to see what's going on.
Oh boy, well, if you weren't already excited about this competition, now's a good time to do so, because it's been a while since we've had a reset in the Scrapstar EU final, so...
Well, the last time we had the bracket reset was every time Riffa was in it. Because he would get knocked into lower brackets because he would do something. And he'd play around a little too much. And then he'd just get into grand finals again, put on main Riffa, and then he would just sweep everyone.
Wow.
It looks like Kosa is wanting to try to bring in some of that energy, and we are going to be coming back. That Ribbon Girl put away. We are now having ourselves that Twin Tail mirror match once more. And we're starting off with the exact same arms that we saw at the last round of their winter finals match. So we're just right back into things.
Yeah, we're pretty much back really where we started. And already Kosalina's gonna lose that arm, but Shady was not able to get a punish at all. In fact, get punished instead.
What was that punish? What is with Kosa? That was just like perfect. She was even disarmed. She dodged the chakram and the roaster, and she's gonna be able to take Shady's rush away too. Starting off with a strong 300 damage and just asserting that health lead.
And immediately knocking Shady straight back down. Kosalina has a lot of momentum, but Shady quickly stops that with a grab. But they've got to be careful here. They're allowing Kosalina to get in way too many hits. Trying to use that chakram to at least curve in from the side. Finally starting to catch Kosalina out just a little bit. But again, takes a bolt to the face.
Again, Kosalina starting to get a weakened arm. This time it's going to connect. That's actually going to save her from getting comboed out. But she's not going to get knocked out by the rush. Just the right read and then the wrong play.
Oh, you did so well and then you jumped into the roaster. Oh. That is unfortunate. Kosalina going to bring out that Thunderbird again. And then see if she can get any different plays than the bolt this time round. And gonna come in with that rush, squares up nicely. That'll be 355 as Shady goes soaring into the sky.
Looks like Kosa's actually finally decided to bring out the Thunderbird. She has yet to use the Thunderbird against Shady. This is the first time, and so far it's working out pretty strong, getting some nice reads and plays.
Yeah, Shady already down into critical, and another toaster to the face. This is gonna be a rush confirmed. for Shady, 295, but Consolina still has a massive health advantage, but cannot allow to get themselves stunned by that track ramp too much. Arm weak on the left side, so Shady putting up all the pressure now, but all Consolina needs is one hit or grab. Get the tap with the Thunderbird, still needs another. And just wanting to hold on to this rush for as long as possible. They don't want to use it now, not with just a HP left to go, but they've got to be careful because Shady has knocked them into critical. And that's a stun grab, and Consolina, no!
Those grabs just not working out. Just left Kosa a little too open, and the Chakram just doing what the Thunderbird do. You get that flinch, you get that stun, you get that combo. And Kosa now in disadvantage.
Yeah. So we're gonna see what Kosa's gonna ban after winning those crucial points to force this reset. You never want to start the actual reset a point down, but that's where we find ourselves here. Will Consolina pick a counter in the reset? It'll be nice to see if that happens. Nope, we're gonna go to Buster.
I mean, technically, from what we've seen of Consolina so far, this is her counter pick to Shady. Because once Kosa starts getting tempo, starts getting pressure, she's really good at making things work. It's once Shady finds a way out of that corner, and this is one of the hardest corners in this game to break out of. You want your opponent in the corner, and if you get them there, they lose so many options, and it just makes your end so much easier. So I could definitely see this arguably being a slightly better stage for Consolina than it would be for Shady, especially if she's going to start off immediately getting her into that hot pocket.
But Shady immediately going to return with a grab of their own, and thought about actually trying to get out of there, but picks up another stun first before finally doing so. And keeping that momentum on their side, but again, it's just stun for stun. Every time one lands a charge stun, another follows up with one of their own a few seconds later. But, you.
Oh, I was going to say Shady's the first to get rushed, but both players have rush already.
Yeah, and both on similar kind of healths here, but that punch just throwing Consolina off enough to land a follow-up grab. Bolt is going to be slowed down and evaded. Here comes the rush. We'll catch Consolina out, and that will be a KO for Shady. And Shady is making absolutely sure that Consolina just does not carry any further momentum into this set, especially after what happened in the first final. Consolina with rush already available, but again gets caught out with yet another stun.
I'm definitely starting to see, like, Consolina's starting to play a little more aggressively. She's starting to pick up the pace again, and that's what Shady is capitalizing on. Gonna get caught that time, though. But especially in a couple of cases, like, one of the reasons why Shady's rushes land so consistently on Consolina is I'm definitely getting the vibe that Shady just knows how Consolina kind of moves around in her actress aura, where Consolina will hold that for about 1 to 2 seconds, and then be like, you're just going to drop it quickly, and you're going to dash over to one side or another, and my rush just covers your options enough that you're not going to be able to shield it. And it's leading into Shady just getting so many lands in her favor. Might actually have a shield breaker rush here. Yeah, just going to go for it.
And Shady is on match point. Shady takes the reset up 2 points to 0. And Consolina, well, if she wants to win this tournament, she's now got to do a reverse sweep.
And then Shady will get a bracket reset. Kosa will continue the bracket reset.
No, don't. That's not how it works, and you know it.
And it looks like we're going to be finishing things off on Name Redacted. No, Sparring Ring.
Gosh, if it did go to 2-2 and we just went, yeah, screw it, Redacted, why the heck not? Yeah, I saw
Name Redacted, double slap commanders. Let's go back.
I didn't realize you were slacks.
Everybody is slacks in one way or another.
This is true, and Consolina starting out a lot better this time around, starting out with a quick stun grab combination.
And gets a nice toaster to follow things up too, just holding that little bit of lead. The charged toaster and roaster I'd also want to know both fire elemented arms have a special property whenever they connect. Not only do they immediately knock their opponent down, they actually take away their opponent's rush. Whoever gets hit by a charged fire elemented glove such as these two, or just fire element in general, that actually slows down their progress, makes it a little bit harder to charge up and get ready to fight back.
I love how for that, most of that, it was just like they're both just going, and then Shady just flings out the rush. But now Kozlina comes in with a stun into a rush, into, you guessed it, a KO. And this is Kozlina's time to finally start swinging this back into her favor if she can keep this up. Shady gonna come in with that chakram once again. So once again, both gonna be playing the stun game, and Kozlina needs to keep this momentum going here. But again, called out by the chakram. They cannot allow themselves to be caught by that every single time.
It's such a great answer to the tribal, because it basically plays very similarly to the tribal, but its movement and its arc allows it just to kind of wall out the tribal while also covering Kozlina's movement and just kind of catching her off guard time and time again.
I thought Kozlina had just backed up enough to get away from that, but not quite. It did hit her in the end, and another stun in mid-air. Kozlina may have rushed, but this stun grab combination is going to make swift work of that. I think Kozlina is just better off just holding off onto that and hopefully getting a point here, because if she doesn't now, Shady wins the set and the match and the championship.
This might be Kozlina's last stand. We're going to have to see how she's going to be able to hold it off, hold her ground. She's going to start with a nice punish, some quick play, and catches that grab. That was essential.
Yeah, that is exactly what she needed to do. Send Shady down past the halfway mark, but cannot allow herself to be punched back like this, especially with Shady so close to a rush, but sends Shady into critical. Now she just needs to maintain this health lead and pick a moment and hopefully not get caught by this rush that you just know is coming.
Just waiting things out. Kosa needs to be able to recognize when she needs to just stand still and shield. She keeps dashing out of that actress aura, and eventually Kozlina or Shady might be able just to catch onto it again and just catch her.
Oh, they both hit!
It's gonna be a great but that 15 damage, not enough!
Somehow it didn't KO Shady. That is unfortunate for Kozlina. Still needs one more hit and finally gets it. Oh my word, I thought for a moment that it was just about to swing away from her again, but no, not this time. Finally does get the confirm and does get themselves a point on this board. It's 2-1 in the grand final reset. It was like the second you saw both rushes come out and they both hit each other, you thought, how is Shady not down yet? But that's just how it goes.
So Red Twintail is Shady. Base or White Twintail, the one with the white color skin, is going to be Kozlina. The one with the blue hair is Shady. Just to clarify for anybody who might not be aware.
Yeah, I generally keep the camera on one person, and the person that I am on does have their name on the right hand side of the screen as well, so it's... Yeah, I was going to say, Starlight just pointed out, it has them over the health bars as well. As we get started in match number 4 in this reset. Remember, it is still championship advantage to Shady. And starting in with another stun grab combination as we return to Buster Beach. Kozlina is doing well at avoiding the roaster, but is still being caught out every now and then by that chakram. And again, another stun grab combo, and Shady is just controlling this match so far, and Kozlina just can't seem to hit her. Just can't seem to hit this Twintail at all. Finally gets a punch in, and another one, but here comes the rush, and that will be a quick KO for Shady, and this is championship point.
She is definitely very allergic to the shield button. Like, Kozlina, is not utilizing it very often. Unless she literally has enough time off of the rush. But, if she's not 100% confident a rush is coming, she doesn't hold on to the shield for very long. very much more focused on being aggressive and trying to get that damage in there.
Finally does pick up Shady with that rush, but again, just went for the grab, didn't happen, and Shady was close enough to punish with the chakram, uncharged thankfully. But it allows Shady a little bit more of a foothold in here. Arm weak on the left-hand side. The Roaster just about missed it, but Shady again with rush available. Will Cosalina pick it out this time round? No, she will not. Still just about has the health lead, but, well, there it goes. That grab will change that very quickly.
The Toaster gonna balance things out, and Cosalina does have rush advantage. Just needs to get it charged up, needs to make the right call, but Shady is gonna see it coming, and that shield just safely stepping out, and that is not gonna close it, but that's one final hit now.
Yeah, one more punch or grab will seal it for Shady, and Cosalina will know this. She cannot allow herself to be caught, and unfortunately does so. Shady doesn't need the rush. The chakram hits once again, and unfortunately that's gonna be that. Shady, despite having to go 3-1 down in that grand final, turns it around the reset and finally seals the deal, winning the reset 3-1. And your winner of the Scrapstar Series is going to be Shady after all of that. Commiserations to Cosalina, who fought an amazing series of matches. It was 3-2 in the semi, 3-1 forced the reset in the grand final, and then finally falling.
After all that was some impeccable plays though. You really cannot, like, we have to commend, like, Cosalina was insane there with some of those plays, some of those calls, just some incredible plays. But like I said earlier, once Cosalina start against the Yam match, like once, or was it no, it was during before the bracket reset. Once Cosalina started to lose her tempo, lose her cool, just kind of lost her ground a little bit, Shay was able just to catch up quickly and just broke down and just ended up taking the entire tournament because of it.
Yeah, but like I said, there was still, like you said, there was still some amazing plays that Cosa did. Like I said, she wouldn't have been able to force the bracket reset otherwise, so, you know. So, but yeah, congrats to Shady for winning. And congrats to Cosalina because, you know, we've consistently seen her do well, but never really make that top 3 and then come in second. Like, being able to beat Yam, who won last week as well, because beating Yam in the Underground Final 3-1 was still just, it was amazing to see that. So, Cosalina is clearly improving just by leaps and bounds.
I know the NA has Gillibo, who's been slowly climbing up and improving. In the EU, I definitely say the player you want to watch out for is Cosalina. She's slowly been improving. She keeps getting better step by step by step. The big thing she needs to work on, like, her talent is there. It's there. It's great. There's still, of course, always going to be more improvement. There's going to be more adjustments here and there. It's her mental state. She loses her composure pretty easily. There's a lot of players that do that across the board on every game. But it's one of the most difficult things to challenge and fix is that composure, that mental state. If you just kind of start trembling at all, you will quickly just start losing more and more ground. It becomes even more difficult to climb back from it. And if Cosalina can find a way to try to help keep her composure, keep herself focused, I could definitely see her taking the Scrapstar not too far into the future, if not like next week even.
Yeah, I certainly look forward to the day when Cosalina does indeed win one of these, because you feel it is coming. It certainly is coming, but until then, that is how that is going to end. So we'll just quickly mention once again that Shady is your winner, Cosalina finishes second, and Yam finishes third. And then from down there, I think it's Eloria who finishes fourth, and then down there, it's then a tie between Kenzo and Yoshi. So thank you all so much for those who took part, and thank you to those who tuned in to watch. Hopefully you've all enjoyed yourselves, and maybe we'll see you in a tournament in the near future. It would be pretty nice.